Okay, we're back onto this topic of the Matrix. Okay, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it seems like there's very few people out there that really have a clue about what the Matrix is really going on about. Okay, um, if you're somebody that's looks into all this sort of the sort of legal system as a trap, then you'll know the analogy straight away with the Matrix. You'll understand what the film's going on about. If you're, I mean, if you're into this stuff, um, unfortunately, most people have got the blinkers on and they don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to the Matrix. And there's so much crap out there about it. Yeah, there's a bigger picture, okay? There is a bigger picture. There's what I would call creation itself, and that idea of the Matrix. But what what they're pushing in the film, this this reality of the Matrix in the film, is, um, I'll come straight out and tell you right now. We're talking about the damn legal system. We're talking about the legal system that is put there by the elite. Okay, it's an invention of the elite. It's run by the government. Okay, I guess you could say it could have been put there by, you know, man himself, in his ignorance, but they're definitely, when you look at it from my perspective, there's definitely an agenda there. But people out there just don't understand this. They go off on the whiffly waffly and, this is what the reflection means and blah blah blah. I'll tell you what the reflection means right now. The reflection, when it's brought up several times in the film. And the thing about deja vu, this idea that there's a reality overlay. Okay, that's all I can say. If you look in the mirror, right, what do you see? It's but you see yourself, don't you? Is the reflection real though? No, it's not real. But it looks just like you. It looks identical. In fact, it does all the same stuff, just a little bit different. Like it's the opposite hand that's going up, and if you write something, it's backwards or whatever. But you know what I mean? But the illusion is that it's real. Okay. This is the reality overlay of contract bloody law. Okay. Um, do you need a driving license to drive if you're a real man? No. If it was a real free world, you wouldn't need anything, would you? But what happens is you enter into contracts, right? And the idea is that a real man, if you go back into some of my other videos, a real man can't really make a contract other than the here and now. So there has to be an illusion of a contract, okay? In fact, a fictitious person can't really make a contract either. But that gets a bit more technical, because we're getting into talking about consciousness and things like that. But the point is, you enter into this contract, right? And it's all fictitious, okay? It's all made up stuff, okay? Because in the real world, okay, a man can't make another man follow rules, okay? It just doesn't come under natural law. The only time one man would answer to another man as if the other man has wronged one, if one man has wronged one man has wronged the other man, then there needs to be some kind of equitable justice served. Any other situation, as long as you're not harming another man, okay, which means hurting him, or stealing from him, then nobody else has got any business telling you what you can and can't do. But in order to have this control system, we have to have contract law, the legal system, which is the matrix. Okay, it makes you believe that you are somebody that you're not, and the thing that you believe you are, it's just like looking in the mirror. You can't tell the difference almost, you know. You're so deep into the belief that you are those contractual agreements that you make, the driving license, the passport, the social security number, everything else, the birthday, okay, the birth certificate, okay. This was not really when you were created. There's a secret right there. You know, this is not when you were created. This is your birthday. And there's a reason why they use the term birth, okay, because the whole legal system is based on maritime law. It's canon law, Roman canon law, maritime law, and you can call it martial law, you can call it whatever you want, okay? It's all the same bloody thing. It's all fictitious man-made law, okay? The reason why they call it the law of the water is because man is only under the jurisdiction of the law of the land, okay? Natural law, okay? Because that's our dominion, okay? We get into this seabound law and the idea of pirates and all this other stuff because theoretically in the minds of the insane that run the show, somehow that is justifiable, okay? Because you're in their dominion, you're in a different dominion, okay? Whether you're the man that you think you are or not, you're in their dominion, okay? And that is their legal system. That is the matrix. You act out your self-beliefs like you think you are a man, but you're not a man in the real sense of the term, okay? You are a person, the persona, a fictional character in their play, okay? A fictional character in their program with their set of rules, their set of codes, the code, you know? When you start looking at all the little, I don't know, analogies within the matrix itself, you know, the red pill, the blue pill, what does that mean? You know? Well, in the basic sense of the matter, red is living. You know, if you think of blood, red is living blood, blue is not living blood. It's deoxygenated. Okay, this is the color you turn when you die. Okay, this is why we have the red and blue pill. Another reason why I have red and blue is the blue pill represents the legal system, which is all maritime law based on the water. You're at sea, you know. You take the blue pill, you stay at sea, you know. Blue is the physical representation, the physical colour of water, okay. I mean, you could go all day long with the little things behind the, you know, all the little bits in the film, you know. I'll try and think of some other ones, you know. They'll probably, as they pop into my head, I'll spell them out to you. But, you know, because people love quoting what the pill, you know, what the red pill. I had a comment from a guy, I don't know, can't remember his name, some kind of matrixology or something, and I don't really know what he was getting at with his comment, but something along the effects of if you hadn't watched everything to do with the Matrix, then you had no right commenting on it. Well, That's nonsense, you know. I believe The Matrix was made as a standalone film, and of course they inevitably uh, inevitably it was successful because there's so much truth in it. They made sequels, you know. Whether or not it was originally supposed to be part of a trilogy or whatever, it probably was, and there probably was always going to be those other films. But it's like saying, well, you couldn't uh, critique a film after just watching the first one because there might be a sequel, and you should wait so you can get the full picture before you make any comments about it. It's just nuts, you know. Or the idea that you couldn't comment on anything in there without knowing the whole story is just, you know, I don't know what people are smoking anymore. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the guy. I appreciate you leaving a comment and everything, but you know, think about stuff logically. Um, that's all I would say. Um, you know, I'm not trying to create any enemies here, but you know, um, everybody has a right to free speech. You know, if you don't like what somebody's saying, just turn it off. You know what I mean? But I did pop over to your website and have a quick look at what you're doing, and I watched something on the Yellow Pill because I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I haven't heard about this before, and you'd said watch the Animatrix stuff, and so I thought, oh, maybe that's something to do with the Animatrix. So I watched that. You know, I haven't actually seen the Animatrix. I have seen the rest of the trilogy, and I do own it. I'm getting off topic here, but the the Yellow Pill. You know, I watched you commenting on it, and not once in your comments did you pick out the obvious um, analogy there of gold. You know, of what I would call um, a true monetary system. Okay, and if you link him with something like the Wizard of Oz, you know, and you have the yellow brick road, and where does the gold lead? It leads to the Emerald City. This is probably why in the Matrix everything's so bloody green, you know. I know it fits in nicely with the computer screens, the old school green screens, but it's a direct reference to um, the currency we use, you know, greenbacks. They're not really greenback. I don't know if they're really necessarily greenbacks anymore, but um, the Federal Reserve notes that you use, you know, this color is linked with it. Okay, this is, I believe, if you dissect the Wizard of Oz, this is what the reference is in the Wizard of Oz. Excuse me. Um, Talking about the monetary system and banking and all this stuff, and of course the deception. I mean, the Wizard of Oz is basically telling you the same story as the Matrix, believe it or not. It's the story of how reality controls you. You know. Um, uh, anyway, don't know where I'm going with that, but you know, it's almost the same story, really, if you really start breaking it down and what it's talking about. Right, and in fact, I would guess that um, it's almost a bit odd, isn't it? It's almost like they wanted to remake the Wizard of Oz and thought, well, what can we do? And they've just brought it forward into the 21st century, if you like. Um, Not quite the 21st century, just before the 21st century, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, where do we go from here? This idea of the Matrix, it's it just drives me nuts that people um, don't understand this stuff. Um, everybody's lost. Everybody's lost within it, and I haven't really got much more to say on it. I just wanted to. I figured the more videos I put up on it, the more chance, you know, if I get 1 view every video I put up, eventually 100 people, if I put 100 videos up, there'll be 100 people out there. As long as it's not the same person, keep clicking on it, there'll be 100 people that get the message, you know. Whether or not they take the message away with them and think about it and process that message, or whether they just ignore it, is up to them. But, you know, it's the only way to get, you know, anything kind of noticed, you know. But, you know, that's what the Matrix is there for, you know. It's that, it is the cocoon, you know. It's the protection from the real world. I mean, the analogies are rampant in there, you know. And, you know, that little pod that he's in, that's the cocoon. And whether you think you create it yourself, or whether you were placed in it at birth, or whatever, you are in that cocoon. And the cocoon that you think is protecting you from the real world, which is the Matrix, the cocoon of the Matrix, is really anytime you put up a wall, even if you think it's a protective wall, you put a wall up and you're a prisoner, you're a slave. Okay, that's what it's all about. You're a slave, you're not free. When you're in the Matrix, when you're in the legal system, when you're in that form of control, the only way to, I know this sounds corny, but the only way to become free is to break out of the cocoon and spread your wings and fly. So cheesy, isn't it? But it's true. Anyway, I ain't got nothing else to say on this video. You know, I'm going to keep putting them up every time I think of a little oddball bit of information. And not meaning to have a dig at anybody that leaves a comment, you know, but I don't know. I kind of get fed up of people that kind of say, you know what, you shouldn't be, you know, people shouldn't be making comments if they don't know the whole story, you know. Well, I know enough of the story, you know, and I don't need to watch, you know, is it required watching, is what I say, the whole of the thing? No. The most important story is the first one. It always is. So I would say just stick with that. Basically, what's the rest of it is just repeating the same stuff over and over again. Anyway, I get drawn back into it again. Usually when somebody says something, it draws me into this, you know, into just a waste of time argument, you know. Anyway, what was a good video got soured by that little bit, didn't it? Was a good video. It was, well, what was better than rubbish turned back into rubbish, let's put it that way. If you like my videos, if you see something in there that's worth, by all means, please tell other people about the ideas, you know, spread them. Guy, if you're watching this video, that Matrixology, if you're watching this video, if there's something in any of my videos that you can pass on to your viewers, you know, everybody's got an important role to play in the world, and doing your bit, if something resonates with you that I've said, you know, please pass it on to your viewers. Like, subscribe, do whatever. Share this video with somebody, leave a comment. Every little bit helps. As you can tell, the videos aren't the best, to say the least. So any little bit of help spreading the word is what I'm all about. I don't really care if you want to leave a bad, crappy comment towards me. It probably helps it get the video seen, so whatever. I'm all about just getting the truth out there, you know. And thanks very much. Ciao for now. Bye.